Mitch McConnell is now bluntly threatening fellow Republican senators, not even ones in the House. He did this in a private meeting, so of course it got leaked when they were talking about signing on to a bill from Josh Hawley from Missouri, running man Josh Hawley when January 6th went down. And he put forward this bill that would aim at limiting corporate money, bankrolling high-powered outside groups. Sounds pretty lib of you, Josh. He told them that many of them would, this being him, being Mitch McConnell, told them that many of them would won their seats thanks to the powerful super PAC that the Kentucky Republican has long controlled. This is personal for Mitch. So let's jump to this from CNN. According to multiple sources familiar with the Tuesday lunch meeting, McConnell warned the Republican senators they could face incoming from the center right if they signed on to Hawley's bill. He also read off a list of senators who won their races amid heavily financial support from the Senate Leadership Fund, an outside group tied to the Republican leader that spends big on TV ads and battleground Senate races. On that list of senators, Josh effing Hawley. Okay, he's a reformed man. Maybe he didn't know where the money came from. He's just a man trying to serve the people. More though. So what is it about this bill that Mitch McConnell is so against? In this new bill called the Ending Corporate Influence on Elections Act, that might be Mitch McConnell's problem, is aimed at reversing the Supreme Court's 2010 Citizens United decision that loosened campaign finance laws. It's an effort that aligns the conservative Missouri Republican, Josh Hawley, with many Democrats. And his bill would ban publicly traded corporations from making independent expenditures and political advertisements, and ban those publicly traded companies from giving money to super PACs. Damn, is he working for Wolfpack? Because again, this is the thought of Wolfpack that was started years ago. Talk to elected officials across the board and their staffs and their people, Republicans, Democrats, independents. Maybe they're tired of being controlled by outside groups. Maybe they're tired of only raising money and trying to run for re-election. Maybe they want to actually legislate. Maybe. And if we get rid of the money, it's influencing them. Maybe they get the opportunity to actually be real. So in an interview, Josh Hawley defended his bill and said the corporate influence should be limited. He says, I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong as an original matter. I think it's warping our politics, and I see no reason for conservatives to defend it. It's wrong as a matter of the original meaning of the Constitution. It's bad for our elections. It's bad for our voters. And I just think on principle, we ought to be concerned. Really fast, before you jump in here, Jorby, let's look at these numbers from some of these contributors here. Graphic 4. This is outrageous. I know it's kind of a small graphic, but I want to point out that One Nation, which is in Virginia, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different instances here. And the numbers go down from the top to bottom. $20 million at the end of September, $17 million. This is all from One Nation, $11 million again. And then 2 more from One Nation being $9 million 2 other times. And these other folks are give 11 and 10 and $7 million as well. To this one PAC, Mitch McConnell's in part of being a part of, which he's probably not supposed to be, then that gets sent around. This is the money that's being given by whoever the hell this is, these thought groups, One Nation. I looked them up, and boy, do they hate them some CRT, and boy, do they want to push some of these conservative approaches. So they put hundreds of millions of dollars to super PACs, to politicians' pockets, and tells them, yo, we'll get you back in office with all this money, but you got to do what we tell you. In other words, they run the country. Thoughts, Jordan?
I don't trust Hawley's sincerity here. I think this is good on paper. I would, with everything he does, the devil's in the details. So will this only exclude, some forms of PACs? Will this also allow unlimited donations from individual donors? Because then it would just be, hey, here's a billionaire funneling money directly into my leadership fund, which is, a PAC that's connected to your campaign that they usually just take money from. Why he is doing this, though, is important. He has postured as a populist for years. He has never really done anything meaningful on that front. But right now, he is facing a very tough election, potentially against Lucas Kunce. Lucas Kunce has been a populist for years, and in his last election, which he narrowly lost in the primary to a self-funded billionaire, the heiress to a beer fortune, he was running this same campaign calling for an end of corporate money altogether in politics. That is somebody, if people in Missouri are concerned about that issue, that is somebody who you should support. Somebody who has shown they are committed to this and not doing it as some Johnny-come-lately trying to mitigate what will surely be an effective attack line in that election.
That's the approach. And look, we talked about Donald Trump earlier and many other politicians. They'll say as many things as they can when they're running. And then once they have the opportunity to actually implement or maybe carry out this agenda that they promised to folks, we're looking for re-election. I need to raise some money, bro. What are you talking about? Do something? It's ridiculous. So, I mean, Josh Hawley, maybe he's reading what the reality is of what many people think, and he's trying to appeal to them. I guess it's smart. It's a thought process. But then again, it shows just how much he actually doesn't care. Those are your principles. Or you can even say, you can even be wrong about something. I don't care. You can be wrong about something. And then later go, I used to support this stuff. I understand now that it's nonsense to support it because of A, B, and C, and therefore this is where I am. If you don't show that understanding, I can completely see the lack of trust and his sincerity in this, Jordan. So I like the point and well taken.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.